which I feel like is something I've spoken a lot about and aspire to. And it isn't just something that's a landing point. I think that requires an ongoing effort.
Behind the glittering lights and roaring applause of Hollywood, Demi Moore's life has been far more complicated than the public ever saw. At 62, she reflects not just on fame, awards, and iconic roles, but on the quiet betrayals, heartbreaks, and moments of isolation that shaped her as a woman and an artist. Born into hardship, Demi learned early that survival often required strength. No one applauded. Rising to the pinnacle of stardom, from Ghost to Striptease to Ja by Jane, she experienced the intoxicating power of admiration, but also its fragility. Behind the smiles and red carpet glamour were private disappointments, friendships tested, trust broken, and love lost. In this fictionalized account, we explore 5 imagined betrayals by people she once held close, each one leaving a mark, teaching hard lessons about resilience, self-worth, and dignity. These stories are not about revenge. They are about understanding, endurance, and what it truly costs to survive in a world obsessed with image. 1. Bruce Willis, the husband who froze in her heart. Demi Moore and Bruce Willis were once Hollywood's golden couple, their marriage the epitome of glamour and family balance. To the public, they were perfect. To Demi, the experience was a complex maze of sacrifice, invisibility, and silent disappointment. For 13 years, she gave up roles, stepped back from opportunities, and supported Bruce's career, believing love would sustain them. But as his fame grew, she began to vanish into the background, becoming the wife of a star rather than Demi Moore herself. Their divorce in 2000 appeared amicable, but behind closed doors, Demi's world shattered. The revelation of Bruce's quick rebound with another woman amplified feelings of betrayal. Her anger was not about leaving, but about the illusion of love that had kept her tethered. Demi realized she had invested everything in a relationship that demanded self-erasure. With Bruce, she lost more than a husband. She lost faith in the idea that love alone could protect a woman in Hollywood. The public never saw the exhaustion, the heartbreak, or the private moments of despair. For Demi, this betrayal was not just marital, it was existential. 2. Ashton Kutcher. Losing dignity for youth. Demi's relationship with Ashton Kutcher symbolized rebellion and hope, a love story scrutinized by millions. But beneath the red carpet smiles lay insecurity, pressure, and a desperate need for validation. 15 years her junior, Ashton represented vitality, youth, and attention Demi craved in a world obsessed with age. To maintain the image of their romance, Demi undertook extreme diets, grueling workouts, and cosmetic procedures, sacrificing physical and emotional health. Yet despite her efforts, Ashton's betrayal came quietly but painfully. Infidelity on their 6th anniversary shattered her trust. Demi's dignity was eroded by public humiliation and private anguish, culminating in hospitalization for emotional and physical exhaustion. She endured mockery and cougar labels from the media while grappling with the loss of her identity. The betrayal was not only about love lost, but the realization that trying to conform to someone else's desires could destroy self-worth. In this chapter of her life, Demi learns that vulnerability can be exploited and that caring deeply does not guarantee protection from cruelty. Ashton's actions left scars that fame could never conceal, reminding Demi and all of us that love can be dangerous when mixed with ambition and youth. 3. Patrick Swayze. On-screen lover, off-screen stranger. Ghost made Demi Moore a household name, cementing her status as a Hollywood icon. Yet behind the camera, Her chemistry with Patrick Swayze was professional, not personal. The iconic pottery scene that captured global admiration did not translate into a private bond. Patrick, though respectful, kept distance and declined personal communication, leaving Demi feeling invisible despite their on-screen intimacy. Letters went unanswered, calls unreplaced, and even after the film's success, Patrick's public acknowledgement was minimal. Demi's pain did not come from anger, but from the realization that one of her most celebrated partnerships existed only as performance, not as genuine human connection. When Patrick passed in 2009, Demi's private farewell was heartfelt, yet understated, a quiet acknowledgement of her unreciprocated emotional investment. This fictionalized narrative highlights how the illusion of closeness can be as isolating as betrayal. For Demi, the lesson was profound. Admiration and collaboration on screen do not equate to recognition off-screen. The experience reinforced the importance of boundaries and self-respect in relationships, both professional and personal, and showed how invisible disappointments can shape perception, confidence, and emotional resilience over time. 4. Tom Cruise, hero on camera, judge behind the scenes. On the set of A Few Good Men, Demi stood alongside Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, delivering a performance that was commanding yet collaborative. Yet behind the scenes, Tom's distance and subtle judgments made Demi feel sidelined. His cold professionalism translated into exclusion from communication, camaraderie, and support. Publicly, he praised the project without acknowledging her contributions, while interviews suggested her efforts were secondary. Demi's admiration for Tom eroded as she realized that the man celebrated as a hero on screen could be dismissive off-screen. The betrayal wasn't marked by confrontation, but by subtle, sustained dismissal that undermined confidence and eroded professional equity. This fictionalized account underscores how recognition in Hollywood is often tied to influence rather than talent. Demi learned that respect and opportunity must be guarded, earned, and sometimes demanded. The experience shaped her understanding of workplace dynamics, revealing that alliances may not be genuine and that perceived teammates may operate as silent evaluators. With Tom, Demi lost more than validation. She lost the illusion that talent alone ensures fair treatment. 5. Rob Lowe, reduced to object, not artist. In About Last Night, Demi Moore worked tirelessly to redefine herself, shedding the label of pretty face while embracing challenging, intimate material. Rob Lowe, her co-star, however, treated the work as entertainment fodder, prioritizing image and notoriety over collaboration. When his scandalous personal life became tabloid fodder, Demi's professionalism and name were dragged into headlines she had no part in creating. Public statements praising her performance masked the reduction of her effort to sexualized commentary, ignoring the artistry and labor she invested. This fictionalized narrative emphasizes how women in Hollywood often bear the cost of male-centric narratives and scandals. Demi's frustration was not mere jealousy, but the injustice of having hard work devalued and personal agency disregarded. The incident reinforced a painful truth. In an industry obsessed with appearances and narratives, women are often objectified, even while striving to assert authority and control. With Rob Lowe, Demi lost not a role, but the recognition of her craft and the ability to define her image on her own terms. This experience cemented her resilience and awareness of systemic inequities in Hollywood. Conclusion: what remains after the spotlight fades? This fictionalized journey through Demi Moore's imagined betrayals is not about revenge or scandal. It's about understanding the cost of a life lived under constant scrutiny. Each encounter with Bruce, Ashton, Patrick, Tom, or Rob represents a different kind of loss: trust, dignity, recognition, or personal agency. None of these experiences broke her completely, but they stripped away illusions, exposing the fragile nature of fame, admiration, and perceived loyalty. Hollywood, in this narrative, is neither hero nor villain. It is a system that magnifies ambition, rewards silence, and often mistakes endurance for permission to tolerate mistreatment. At 62, what remains is clarity: the ability to recognize genuine connection from pretense, to place self-respect above expectation, and to reclaim personal autonomy. Resilience is rarely loud or celebrated. It is quietly built through repeated disappointments, small betrayals, and private reflection. When the spotlight finally fades, what endures is not resentment, but wisdom: the strength to honor boundaries, preserve dignity, and prioritize self-worth over applause, recognition, or fleeting validation. This is the real legacy that survives the glare of fame.